So what would you say if I told you it was almost impossible to play Dance Dance Revolution in Italy? What would you say? Well, in this video, we're gonna talk about why that is. Okay, let me take you on a journey. Oh no, it's a butchered DDR Extreme cab. No, what is going on? So there was memory card slots here once upon a time, and they have the original ITG 1 upgrade kit, but inside is ITG 2, and I think it's probably the old theme that they used to run here. Look at that marquee as well. It even says event mode. So how did this come to be? Well, you might be surprised, maybe not, but it's not just an ITG thing, it's actually a pump it up thing as well. So what if I also told you that it's very hard to play pump it up here? And one of the most popular mixes, if not the most popular, is NX Pro. Wow. Alright, well, let's dig into it. So here's an example in Ramini here. This is a DDR arcade cab. I'm not sure what it was running, but apparently it's running Naomi now. But it's just another OpenITG cab. You can see this is the original sort of bezel right there, and they've just super extended it, slapped an LCD in there, and well, there you go. Another OpenITG cab right here. Sadly, I don't think many people play on it. You can tell by the screws in the brackets, but yeah, there it is. Wow. So what the hell happened here? Well, it's a combination of a lot of things at play. It's not just one greedy person illegally making money from arcade operators. It's not the Konami lawsuit and everything went crazy and anti-DDR and let's put ITG everywhere. So a combination of things. Now, I don't have the full story, so feel free to comment below with a lot of the missing pieces, but I spent a lot of hours on Italian forums and Google Translate putting everything together, but it seems to be a combination of a lot of things. Okay, look at this one. It was a DDR Extreme, I think, because the marquee is photoshopped. It's quite hard to see in the camera, but you can sort of get it. And what the heck is this monstrosity? It's like someone's got Stepmania. Well, this was a DDR machine. They converted it to ITG1, got the USBs, reconverted it to some weird OpenITG Stepmania thing, and put a DDR Extreme theme on it. So I think someone's making a little cash on these conversions. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so sorry, DDR Extreme. There is nowhere to play DDR right now. Oh my, look at that. That is madness. Oh, what do you think? Extreme or ITG? Vote now. Wow. Oh yeah, I definitely remember Hellscraper Let's Escape remix from Extreme. I think you have to unlock it, right? So from 2010 to 2018, Italy had this organization. It was almost like a charitable organization linked with the government and various ministries of leisure or whatnot. I can put all the links in the description below. You can check it out. And on a condition of that, their aim, their goal, their mission was to introduce young people into dance and rhythm games. You know, give them a sense of music, exercise, and everything else. So these are some of the songs you'll typically find on a lot of the machines. They'll all pretty much have these generic dance packs. So usually Italian pop songs, but it could be anything in here. And this was the reason why people wanted these machines. You know, they were upgrading their DDR Extreme, this one was, into mixes like this. And it's just because people know the songs, you know, and that's how it sort of works. Other than that, you know, some random stuff, Dragon Force, tournament packs, ITG, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Salutiamo! Ciao a tutti! Alla prossima! Ciao! In pedana!
So back in 2004, Italy had a good handful of decent DDR players. DDR was an active game in the community, but what escalated this was the introduction of a TV show called 321 Baila, which brought DDR to the wider masses of Italy. And this made people actually want to play the game, but they didn't want to play general DDR songs. They wanted to play popular chart music, like from the show. and modern day DDR at the time just didn't really cater for this with the music on the machine. People wanted more, and players at the time were left itching for harder songs. At the time you could play maybe PSMO, Legend of Max, but there was always people willing to play harder songs, faster songs, and this is where ITG kind of slotted into the mix. So this organization, AIGEM, which is Association Italian Music, Electronic Music Game, something like that. I don't know how that translates, but you get the idea. And they would have national rankings for Italians. They would have multiple tournaments throughout the year. You would accumulate points, and then at the end of the year you would have the overall champion of Italy, or at least the best player in Italy. And you would attend a series of tournaments in different locations with the overall aim of introducing new people into dance and rhythm games. It was a very good thing. Here's another one here. So I love how it said Konami and then it goes to ITG. Did you catch that? So it gives me the impression, as an arcade operator, you think you're upgrading your DDR with memory cards, but then you end up with OpenITG. So it's quite interesting how that works. But you can see the banner here is like photoshopped as well. So yeah, I was under the impression it was more like, oh, the players want it here, let's put ITG on here. But there was a deliberate attempt to to make it kind of look like DDR, and then the attempt goes away. So this organization would host these events. They do it for ITG, they do it for 2DX, and also pump it up. And with a non-profit, I imagine, I'm not sure, but the government would perhaps give them a grant, maybe tournament prize money or something like that, or at least money for things to do with organizing the events. All right, here's another one. Look at this, Jumbotron. So it's got the original upgrade kit for ITG. It was a J-cab because, whoa, memory card slots, look at that. Unfortunately, they've been blocked off, but you can play in the groove, look, on OpenITG. Even got the marquee look as well, and it's been extendorized. I think that's the word, probably isn't, but yeah, there you go. Another upgrade right there, wow. So when playing on a lot of these kind of botched-ish conversions, you'll notice the AIGEM logo as in the attract loop, AIGEM, the association. So are they the ones converting the machines? Well, I'm not really sure, but it's my belief that they modified an OpenITG and they would use that at all the events. However, when you look at the frequency of OpenITG in Italy, they seem to be concentrated on one area, and that's Ramini, and slowly kind of spreading outwards from there. Looking at a lot of forums and posts online, it seems there was someone very connected with the arcade community and operators here in Rimini, and it seems they took it upon themselves to convert a lot of these cabinets. And in turn, they would install the OpenITG software that AIGEM used in their tournaments. Okay, we've got a DDR Extreme here. There's some stuff going on with the DDR Extreme, I'm not sure what. But I appreciate the minor effort in making it green to fit the theme there. Oh yeah, what was it called? What do they think it is? Dance Dance Revolution, yeah, okay. But it's OpenITG, but there is an issue right now. But it looks like, yeah, ITG1 upgrade kit, and then just a reskinned OpenITG theme. And the reason I think this is because when you look at the conversions, the graphics are absolutely awful. Whatever they did was just had zero thought as well. The marquee could be a screenshot of a credit screen or a Burger King CD or something like that. Even the logos don't have the correct aspect ratio, and the quality is absolutely awful. But all of that aside, you can't deny that the person responsible for stretching the screen and doing an LCD conversion was very talented. I think the carpentry, the woodwork and everything else is actually quite impressive, and it's probably some of the best conversions I've ever seen, ignoring all of the graphical elements of a lot of those machines. Okay, so here's another one. So right now we're in Rimini. This whole town, you're not going to find a DDR, you're not going to find a pump it up, but you're going to find a lot of ITG. So this one isn't actually running OpenITG, it's since been upgraded. So what you'll find in communities like Verona and some certain machines, they've been re-upgraded again. But that being said, yeah, it was a DDR Extreme J-cab, And now, whoa, now it's ITG. But there hasn't been too many modifications. They have the original ITG 1 kind of upgrade kit on here. The memory card's been gutted. But what's quite interesting is they have Konami and Bemani soundproofing for the machine. But it looks like people might play on this one. You can see the arrows have been routed when people used to do that routing mod before the brackets were removed, and there's low profile screws on here as well. So I think this might still have a community around it, but they left the stats on, so every time you play a song it's going to show the stats. But yeah, there's another one anyway. Usually when you have a lot of people at play, you'd have someone making sure the graphics is okay, someone making sure the software is good, and another person dealing with the hardware. That's why I'm thinking it's very few people, but I do think they are connected with the community. So because this is a newer mix, it's going to have newer packs, but as you play these machines, you'll see dance pack a lot, or some DDR songs. This one actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure people play here at some point, but there was a period where people stopped. It has a theme from 2001, but it does have some newer stuff, so I do imagine people do play here. I don't know who, but we're going to play today, but maybe not on that side. Now, there is a point of contention with a lot of these machines. It does mean even now in 2025, it's almost impossible to play Dance Dance Revolution in Italy. It's very, very difficult. And even then, you see some later machines like DDR-A and Lecce still being converted into ITG. Yeah, DDR Ace with Simply Love on here, ITG. Yeah, that's crazy. So is it the case where we're never going to get a brand new DDR machine in here? It's quite interesting because I asked a lot of the arcade operators about their machine, and they seem to think they're running Dance Dance Revolution. So it's quite interesting how that was sold to them and how it was actually upgraded to something completely different and to something they're almost blissfully unaware of running themselves. If it says DDR Max, even though it says limited edition sampler, they actually think they're running DDR Max. Someone with a DDR Extreme, they think they have DDR Extreme too. It's actually unbelievable how it sort of transpired, to be honest. So I think that is a point of contention, and I'm not really sure about things moving forward. So yeah, DDR Extreme, of course. Boys in the club, you know that DDR Extreme song, upside down memory card slots. Well, keeps going, keeps on giving. The conversion that keeps on giving. So I noticed something pretty funny about this theme, especially this DDR Extreme one. Watch this. So for a start, it says Konami, and then it says Konami Game Presents. Check it out, DDR Extreme 2, the newest edition in DDR Extreme Entertainment, featuring all these songs in DDR Extreme 2 and all of these step charts and even courses. Wow, only courses in DDR Extreme 2. Modifiers, wow. And there you go, DDR Extreme 2. Oh boy. Needless to say, a lot of these machines today are very under-maintained, focused on casuals only, and the operators are really just focused on having later music on there, so people will put credits in. In this whole region, even though I've counted 28 machines, one pump it up, 0 DDR. There's only one of them which seems to be in use generally today. The rest mostly left for casuals in the casual graveyard. So I'm noticing a pattern now. You choose what mix you want, you get a fake marquee. This one says insert coin, for example. Everything is the same, even the Konami logo. Even the version 2, so this one will say Euromix 2. There it is, Dancing Stage Euromix 2. Everything is the same. They'll change the intro, the text, and the USB key image as well. And there it is. What on earth is that? Oh my god. So what's all this talk about NX Pro? Well, NX Pro is for another video, but if you were a member of the Italian community back then, what are your thoughts on this? Like, how was it? How was everyday life playing on an OpenITG or not being able to play Dance Dance Revolution in most of Italy at the time? So here's another one here, but this one doesn't have the same level of conversion as a lot of the others. It was a JCAB. It was upgraded to ITG at some point. There's the USB. But otherwise, it's pretty much been left alone here. You can see it was a DDR Extreme, and apparently the government still think it's a DDR Extreme. But yeah, we have a ITG 2. I think it's OpenITG, but the serial says ITG 1. But nevertheless, yeah, not a DDR anymore. So you have three types of people. The first one is people who love Bemani, Konami. It doesn't matter what happens, they just absolutely love that game. Secondly, you have people that are probably crying over these conversions. They're like, what the hell has happened to this machine? It's so rare, unbelievable. It was a DDR Max or yada yada. You have those people. And then you have the third person, which is, I just want to play the goddamn game. Because if you take yourself back to 2001, 2002, when DDR Extreme came out and everyone was going crazy, it's one of the best mixes for DDR even today. There was such a huge long gap until 2004 when ITG came in and said, hey, we have new songs with harder difficulties, you know, we've got marathons, mods, all these new things which just injected so much passion into the game. And at the same time, Konami kind of threw out Supernova. And Supernova was awful. I saw that at trade shows in Europe. We had power issues with the cabinets and it just didn't really feel polished at all. We never got Supernova 2. When DDR-X came out, we had raw thrills cabinets, so it's pretty much impossible to play, and it was a complete disaster. So I do understand from another point of view, if you just want to continue to play the game and keep pushing it and have tournaments, then you're going to start playing ITG. At least this is the way a lot of people felt about this. Check this one out. DDR Extreme, Supernova, ITG, and for some reason when I stepped on the arrow it put a credit in. I'm not sure why. Oh, this is crazy. Okay, it's only right to finish this video with the piece de la resistance. And what you see here is one of the most rare DDR games you can imagine on the surface. But it seems to be converted into, well, you guessed it, OpenITG, like everything else. And I notice a lot of these cabinets have the same layout, the same sticker. They've all been modified the same way. You know, I'm not sure why there's a couple inches on each side. Some have like metal to make it, give it a nice sleek feel. Others just have this tacked on. But it does look like there's one, at least one operator doing this, and it seems to be a theme. Got the ITG 1 USB upgrade kit on the side. But look, I mean, I think this is from a Burger King CD, because Burger King used to do CD samplers. Or McDonald's, one of the two in America, right? So you get your limited edition music sampler, not for resale. I think someone's cut that out and actually made it into a marquee. And look at the graphics. It's unreal, right? How can an arcade operator know that? I don't know, I thought anyone could. I'm so confused. I bet you the arcade operator has no idea that that's not an official game, guaranteed. Alright, holy crap. So while it's not very clear who actually did these conversions, it's very clear that they were not a graphic designer. Maybe they deal with hardware, but certainly not anything graphical, and perhaps not even the software as well. So it does seem that this kind of started in Ramini, and I believe that's just because it's next to the coast. It was easy to import cabinets into this city, and from there they expanded into Italy. So this is why it's very, very difficult to play DDR in Italy today, and I hope this video is a little bit educational. But if you know any more ins and outs on this, feel free to comment below. We'd love to hear it. But right now, looking at this DDR Max banner, I would love to play some DDR Max, but here we are playing OpenITG. But at least it has link support, right? Yeah, check this one out. I actually found another one. I didn't think I would, but it seems it's so far widespread than I thought it would be. But they actually have song packs for 2025, so someone out there is still maintaining these machines. Yeah, you got the Konami Dance DDR Max. Even has the memory card still in this one. Look at that. Unbelievable. This is the best part. Look at that. Look how pixelated it is. It's like the first result on Google Images, isn't it? Yeah. Oh man, help me. So while it's not exactly clear who imported these machines, who did all these conversions, and who potentially made a lot of money off the back of this, but you can't deny Italy used to have a very vibrant DDR community. Some of them stopped playing completely. Some of them transitioned into the world of ITG. But certainly when ITG came out in the UK, there was a very big debate and fight over it. A lot of DDR purists said, oh, what is this American ITG junk? Other people hopped on the bandwagon and pushed their skills to harder songs with more steps and more BPM, I guess. So it is a debate to be had. But what I looked in Italian forums like DDR Planet and places like that back in the day, I didn't really see any DDR players contesting ITG. It seemed to be generally welcomed in this country, and really a gradual progression. You play DDR, then you play ITG, so it's very linear in that regard. Whereas in other countries, there was a very big split evenly down the community. Are you team DDR or are you team ITG? So it is quite interesting to see. Well, there's another one. I don't really know what to say anymore, but there it is. Some of them say Naomi. I'm not sure why. I think I've seen 3 Naomis. This has some interesting graphics though. Like, get on the dance stage twice. Yeah, there it is. What more to say? But anyway, the aim of the video isn't to find out who is responsible and crucify them for butchering many DDR machines. It's just to bring attention a very interesting situation that you're pretty much never going to find in any other country. So with that respect, I hope you enjoyed looking at some butchered DDR machines in Italy, of which mostly you can still find even today. So I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you guys in another video coming soon. Take care. Alright, wow.